Foxtel launched its new Smooth and MTV Music and MTV Dance channels this week. Mediaweek's James Manning was there. Sounded like quite a launch party.
Yeah, look, Foxtel likes throwing parties and likes throwing down by Sydney Harbour. I hope Viacom, who was one of the partners in this, might be footing some of the bill, because it would have cost a few dollars to put it on.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, it was a great night. Lots of celebrities. Look, Alicia Keys played. I don't know how they got Alicia Keys on the bill, but gee whiz, it's not a bad way to kick off a new music channel, is it?
Absolutely. And you spoke to Viacom's Kerry Taylor.
Yeah, yep, she's out here. She travels the world, sort of troubleshooting for MTV, if you like. The MTV Music channel, and they've launched the two new, well, the MTV sort of flagship channel is still there, but they've got now two specialist music channels alongside it.
Yeah.
And we asked her what the difference was between MTV Dance and MTV Music.
So, well, what we felt that for the audience, it's really important that, you know, at the heart of MTV, it's about entertainment, but music's, you know, absolutely the heart of everything we do. And so we want to have an offering of entertainment and music. And so what makes sense for us is that we have entertainment in the entertainment section of the EPG, and then you've also got your music channels where you'd expect to find music. We have MTV Music, and that's a real flagship channel. It's got the very best of MTV, you know, the biggest artists, you know, the biggest kind of international stars and events. And then MTV Dance, you know, electronic dance music is really exploding. It's a huge genre now, and so we felt that for the Australian audience, you know, it's becoming increasingly popular, and we'd have a MTV Dance channel especially for them as well.
Do you have those two brands anywhere else in the world, dance and music?
Yeah, we actually have both of those in the UK, and they're doing incredibly well there. And so because we've got that proven success, we know that they're definitely going to be a real success here as well.
Does it let you sort of split your demographics a bit for your offering to advertisers? Does it, I mean, you get different audiences for the dance and different ages perhaps for the music?
Well, you know, MTV is absolutely about youth. We're absolutely aimed at a 16 to 29-year-old audience, but we think there's a really great opportunity for brand partners and commercial partners as well to be able to kind of work with us on the general entertainment channel, but there may be people who would prefer to reach out to kind of, you know, a music-specific audience in terms of dance or music, and so, you know, it allows us to be able to do that and create really bespoke packages for all kinds of brand partners.
Tell me about what you do to support these new brands with mobile and online offerings.
Well, obviously, for a youth audience, they're kind of, you know, they're sort of accessing content on all different kinds of platforms. So MTV, it's really important that we're absolutely in the places where our audience want to access content. Mobile's exploding. You know, I think there's sort of 50% penetration of smartphones now, and so we're seeing that as a real area. But obviously, you know, our digital offerings are absolutely key to what we do as well. So yeah, absolutely, you know, MTV is really kind of prioritising, you know, digital, mobile, and being in all those spaces.
When you tour the world, you get, I guess you're pretty lucky, you get to see a lot of different MTV offerings around the place. You get to work with a lot of the same sponsors, I suppose. Do you have global partnerships that are important?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a big mission for MTV is to be, you know, the #1 brand for partners to connect with, you know, youth audiences, and so we work with a number of different partners. You know, we've got some exciting partners this week alone. You know, Latan were one of the key sponsors of MTV Summer. We had a great party on Thursday night in the Town Hall. Friday night we had an amazing event in Melbourne with Sol. So, you know, partnerships are, you know, and having partners is really, really key for us all around the world, you know, both locally and internationally.
And your partnership with Foxtel down here, how do you like the setup here? You're in with the music channels, the MTV Dance, MTV Music are part of their music offering, but you've got your main channel, of course, down at the sort of heavy-hitting end of the spectrum, if you like, with the big audience channels.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've got a long-running relationship with Foxtel. You know, we've partnered with them for a really long time. You know, and what they're doing with music, I think, is really exciting and really innovative. You know, it's absolutely not about, you know, competing in the music space, but being really collaborative, and so playing to each other's strengths. You know, for them, Channel V, fantastic local channel, but for us, having these great international brands and being able to bring them together and have a really complementary but impressive music offering. And so we're really excited about that. So yeah, great partnership with Foxtel.
Viacom's Kerry Taylor there, and Foxtel, of course, also launching its Smooth channel at the same event. And you spoke to Sean James, the General Manager of Foxtel Music and also Head of Digital.
Yeah, and I asked him about their partnership with DMG Radio, and I listened to the channel a bit on day one, asked him, you know, is the music being played on the TV channel very different to what we'll hear on the radio?
It is. We've worked very closely with DMG on the playlist because they've done a fantastic job in the last 18 months of building the Smooth brand. We're very conscious of being accretive to that and not doing anything that's detrimental. So from a programming perspective, we've worked closely with Paul Jackson and his team. What you find, though, is some of the songs that are on the radio station actually don't have video clips to accompany them. And we've certainly found a handful of tunes that maybe Smooth aren't playing in a high rotation but work well visually on air.
What will the partnership between you and DMG involve? Will you both get sort of ID on each other's platforms and promotions, stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the things we saw as really attractive about working with DMG, that we can cross-promote the Foxtel offering and specifically the Smooth channel on air, on radio, and certainly from a DMG perspective there's the ability for them to promote the FM signals both in Sydney and Melbourne on the Smooth channel. And I think as time goes on we will certainly unlock the potential of the joint brand, and whether that's from a tour presents perspective, whether that's from feature weekends, anniversaries, and then leading all the way down to the track, which is something that we'll explore in time in terms of that joint commercial opportunity for both brands.
Smooth's been a bit of a rating success this year, in particular in Sydney. It's doing very well, starting to pick up in Melbourne. I guess Foxtel channels aren't all about ratings, but you'd be looking for some good signs later in 2014?
Yeah, look, it's early days and it's a few weeks before the channel actually comes onto the panel and we actually get some hard numbers from OzTam. But certainly if you take what we've seen with the radio surveys, in a relatively short period of time, the radio numbers are fantastic. And so we certainly feel that it's a broad offering in terms of the demographic. It's something that we've clearly identified as being unique in terms of the Foxtel offering, and we'd love to think that we can mirror that success. So time will tell, but we've certainly got some high hopes for the channel.
Now, we're also celebrating the launch of 2 new MTV channels, which sit in your suite of music channels. Foxtel owns a lot of the channels these days, but not all of them, so you're still happy to partner with MTV?
Yeah, look, absolutely. I think, it always comes back to the best offering for the customer, and so we believe that a 7-channel offering is the way to go. We'll be producing and playing out 5 of those channels, and 2 new great MTV channels in MTV Music and MTV Dance. And the whole objective when we looked at the music selection was having a really broad differentiated offering for customers, and we think we've got that. So we're delighted to partner up, and it really is a launch under the banner of Foxtel Music tonight, celebrating all the new brands on the platform.
What sort of year has it been for your ad revenues and your partnerships with advertisers, sponsors, and how crucial is that to your business model?
Look, it's an important part of what we do. I think within the music space, especially with the youth brand, with V, we have a deal of flexibility where we can really have some terrific integrated stuff, and we've done some great work with Kellogg's and Nutrigrain, with Boohoo, one of the online fashion brands. The summer promotions running with Jeep, who are back again with Hungry Jack's. So there's a wide variety of brands that actually utilise the music channels, especially in that younger demo. And you asked in terms of how the year's travelled. I think, like most media providers, the ad market has been tough. But certainly, there's some public figures on how MCM is travelling within that, and as our representation, we're pretty much line ball in terms of the overall MCM result, which is pretty pleasing.
Stay with us. Coming up on Media Week, the news show drawing record audiences for the History Channel.